Hi, Caleb with Brownells here. Joined again with Chris from North American Rescue. And today we're going to be talking about tourniquets. Pretty much quick, down and dirty, everything you need to know about tourniquets. So, Chris, take us through it.
All right, so here we have our combat application tourniquet in our kit. So we want to put it on your extremities. That's where we're going to use a tourniquet.
Sure.
Right, we have major bleeding. We might know it's major bleeding because there's a pooling. Like if you're laying by the ground, I just got to you, there might be a large amount of blood. It just happened, there's a large amount of blood. It might be squirting. It might be blood-soaked clothing, right? So I would need to go ahead and stop this. So I'm going to take my injuries here. I'm going to put it 2 to 3 inches above. We're going to take this and put it around here. We're going to go 2 to 3 inches above the injury. I'm going to pull this tight. This is the most important part, is going ahead and making sure this is tight. All right. We want it so that we can't slip the tips of 3 fingers into it. If I don't take out the slack, I'll never be able to turn this windlass enough in order to take all this slack out. So, most important part, I press down. I bring this around. I leave it short of the windlass so that I can leave this short so that I don't have to. My windlass isn't in the way, or this is not in the way of my windlass.
Right.
And then we're going to turn this. It doesn't matter which way, as long as we keep going the same way. So we turn this. How's that feel?
It feels like the bleeding has stopped. That's how it feels.
So tourniquets hurt, right?
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. I go ahead and I make sure that it has stopped.
Right.
If it hasn't, then I will try to go another half turn and see if the bleeding stops there. The bleeding has stopped, we will say. So
Thank
we will
goodness.
finish the tourniquet. So we're going to take this tail and we're going to slip it through here. The reason why we do that, we're going to bring the time stamp across and mark our time. The reason why we bring the tail across is so if it grabs on something, it's a little harder to come out. If we leave it back here, put this across, and then we go to move our patient, and we lose our tourniquet, and now we're bleeding again. So we don't not want that to happen.
Sure.
Okay. So we never put it over a joint, so it doesn't go over the elbows, it doesn't go over the knees. If we're putting it on the leg, we take everything out of the pockets. Empty. There's people have knives in their pocket, the wallet, cell phones, keys. We want to make sure those things are removed. If we're putting it over clothing, the best would be to put it on skin, but we can put it over clothing if need be.
Yep, makes perfect sense. And not for head wounds.
Not for head wounds.
Yep. All right, that's pretty
All
straightforward. Right. And you could also apply it without having to slip my arm through if the limb's caught or something.
I can. So there is, if you had your limb is caught, I can also bring it around and just slide it in like that with using the buckle system.
Easy enough.
All right. Another question we get a lot is there's black, mine is orange. They're the exact same tourniquet. We also have a blue one that we use for training. So military and law enforcement like the black ones for being subdued.
Right.
And the orange in your stop the bleed kit, your public access kits, that's what's going to be in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So same exact tourniquet, same way you apply it, no difference.
Yep. And so tourniquets generally one-time use.
One-time use. So if you're going to use it over and over in training, that's why we make the blue ones, and
Right.
you could use it over and over and over in training. But yes, we never want to use whatever tourniquet we use in practice for our trainings. We never want to then put that back in our kit and then use it on a patient. So we get a practice tourniquet. We're proficient at it. You take a stop to bleed class. You learn how to use one, and then you leave the one in your kit alone.
Yeah. So makes perfect sense. A good bit of information to have there, and like he mentioned, get some training with it. Go to stopthebleed.org, and from there you can find a course near you. Regardless of where you are, there's something out there. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, of course. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to stopthebleed.org or North American Rescue. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.